You've probably heard it many times. Cold showers increase testosterone. It sounds powerful, almost like a shortcut to becoming more energetic, more confident, and more physically dominant just by standing under freezing water every morning for 30 days. But the real story inside your body is very different from what social media makes it seem. When you first start cold showers, your body reacts immediately. Not through testosterone, but through a stress response. Cold exposure activates your sympathetic nervous system, your fight-or-flight mode. Your heart rate rises slightly, breathing becomes sharper, and your body releases adrenaline and norepinephrine. That's why after a cold shower you feel extremely awake, alert, and mentally sharp. But that feeling is not testosterone. It's a short-term stress activation response. And this is where most of the confusion begins. People connect that energized feeling with testosterone. But in reality, these are completely different systems. Adrenaline is short-term activation. Testosterone is a long-term hormone related to muscle development, recovery, and baseline physical function. So does cold exposure actually raise testosterone? The honest answer is, not in any strong or consistent long-term way in healthy individuals. There may be small temporary fluctuations in some studies, but nothing significant enough to create a meaningful or lasting increase by itself. However, that doesn't mean cold showers are useless, because the real effects are happening somewhere else entirely. After a few days of consistent cold exposure, your body begins adapting. What felt shocking and stressful on day 1 becomes manageable by day 10 or 15. This is called stress adaptation, and it's where the real change begins, not in hormones, but in your nervous system. You become less reactive to discomfort. Your stress tolerance improves. You start handling difficult sensations more calmly. This matters more than it sounds because chronic stress is one of the factors that can negatively affect hormonal balance over time, including testosterone levels. So the benefit is indirect, not direct. Cold showers don't boost testosterone. They may help reduce overall stress reactivity in some people, which can support healthier hormone function in general. Another effect is improved mental discipline. Every morning, you're forcing yourself to do something uncomfortable before your brain fully wakes up. Over time, this builds a pattern of action without hesitation. You act before motivation kicks in. That's often mistaken for a hormonal shift, but it's actually behavioral conditioning and nervous system training. There's also a small metabolic response. Cold exposure activates brown fat, which helps generate heat. Now here's what most people get wrong. They assume more discomfort automatically equals higher testosterone. But the body doesn't work through punishment. Hormones are regulated by balance, recovery, sleep, nutrition, and overall stress load. Too much stress without recovery can actually lower testosterone over time. So extreme cold exposure combined with poor sleep, overtraining, or bad diet can backfire. Now, after 30 days, what actually changes? Most people don't see a real testosterone increase. What they do notice instead is more morning alertness, better stress tolerance, slightly improved mood after exposure, and stronger mental discipline. But these effects come from nervous system adaptation, not hormonal transformation. So the real truth is simple. Cold showers are not a testosterone hack. They are a controlled stress tool. And like any stress tool, their value depends on your overall lifestyle. If your sleep is bad, your diet is poor, and your training is inconsistent, cold showers won't fix anything. But if your foundation is solid, they can slightly improve alertness, discipline, and stress resilience. And that's usually why people feel better after 30 days. Not because testosterone increased, but because their body learned to stay calm under stress.